The Cycle Frontier is a free-to-play PvPvE first-person shooter that, graphically speaking, reminds me of No Man's Sky and Outer Wilds. I got a few hours of gameplay time, and I'm happy to say that it feels solid even with the few bugs I came across. The Cycle Frontier introduces players to the planet Fortuna 3, where mysterious alien creatures run free and old research facilities remain abandoned. Players enter the planet as prospectors, adventurers who search for resources and precious loot while braving the elements and hostile creatures. But you're not the only prospector around town. Other players will be dropping into the planet to gather the same resources you're after, and while some can be friendly, others will want to hunt you down for your inventory. The Cycle Frontier brought me back to DayZ days of worrying about PvE elements and survival while also being wary of players I'd come across. Anyone can turn at you at any time, all while being chased down by the hostile alien monsters on the planet. You can enter the game solo or with a team of up to 3 players. You start with basic loadout options, and you have to equip them individually in your inventory. Each time you set out on an excursion, you'll have to decide if you want to insure any of your equipment you're setting out with. If you die on Fortuna 3, you'll lose everything you equipped and had in your inventory unless your items are insured. Thankfully, you also have 5 safe pocket slots in your inventory, which lets you keep those 5 items even if you die. While this mechanic seems kind of punishing, I didn't find it frustrating. It gave me more of a reason to be cautious about the looting I did and the interactions with players that I decided to take on. The Cycle Frontier balances risk and reward really well, since it's really on you if you decide to take on that big alien creature if you decide to enter a high danger area. When you've had your fill of scrounging for resources, you can go to extraction points to call for an evacuation ship. There's a bit of a delay in calling for the ship, waiting for it to dock, then waiting for it to close its doors and leave, so you have to be aware of nearby players that might try to jump you to steal your loot and take off in your ship. Extracting successfully will reward you with XP and all of the resources you picked up in your adventure, which you can then use to craft or sell for currency. This extraction mechanic reminds me of games like Escape from Tarkov, Battlefield 2042's Hazard Zone, and Scavengers. It works really well here since it only adds to that risk and reward factor that the cycle focuses on. Everything you need to do needs to be pretty seriously considered, since it's fairly easy to lose a lot of resources in one fight against creatures or even players. While you do have the safe pockets and insurance, you can't save everything. What's truly impressive is that no excursion down to Fortuna 3 feels the same. It sounds like a repetitive task to go to the planet to forage and loot, but you never know what you'll find on the surface. There are some in-game events that also just happen organically. A storm may pass through, meaning you'll have to find shelter or brave the elements, or meteors may crash onto the planet's surface and grant you precious materials when mined. There are also mini-puzzles that exist throughout the map in different locations where you have to power a generator for different abandoned forts that will open up locked rooms for good loot and unlock uplinks that allow you to extract data. The mini-puzzles will generate a lot of noise once activated and will alert players to your presence in the location, so again, this is one of those high-risk, high-reward scenarios the cycle loves to practice. In the few hours of hands-on time I got with the cycle, I found myself wanting to throw myself back into another Fortuna 3 adventure, since the rewards of successful exfills make you feel unstoppable. Though, conversely, when you lose all of your items and rewards from a failed extraction, it just drives you to go back in and try again. It's such a fun co-op game that I can't wait to try with friends. Do you think you'll be playing the Cycle Frontier when it comes out? Let us know if you got into the closed beta. For more on the Cycle Frontier, be sure to keep it tuned to IGN.